Thank you, Ayo. Hello and welcome to Lagos Studios. I am Mureni Kiji Oladusi. Nigerian women have joined others around the world to mark the International Women's Day. Lagos is not left out in celebrating women and their outstanding peculiarities. IATV's Faith Betuya reports that the first International Women's Day occurred in 1911 and it has been consistently marked on 8th every year to recognize women in the society. Her reports.
This year's International Women's Day is marked with the theme Balance for Better, and it is a worldwide event to recognize the achievement of women with the aid of arts performances, talks, rallies, national networking events, conferences, marches, and calls for gender equality. Some notable women who spoke on the 2019 International Women's Day said Nigerian women still needed to be given the chance to explore and contribute their own quota to the growth and well-being of the country. They added that Nigerian women have to believe more in themselves and rise to save their environment and work towards making things right in every way they can.
This year's theme is very, very right, and it is so because in our system, women are still relegated. Women are not seen as strong, powerful people who can move mountains. And we know that the United Nations some years back said women must be given 35% in the governance of every country.
I think it is important that we create an empowering society. A society where all men have a right to a say, a society where the women have a voice, the men have a voice, the children have a voice, and the poor have a voice.
He added that Nigerian women have to believe more in themselves and rise to save their environment and work towards making things right in every way they can.
Situations that we have that compared to other countries is quite tough, but I want to tell every Nigerian woman today that you are strong, you are phenomenal. The things we do every day count.
So my advice to women is keep trudging on. You're strong, you're powerful, spiritually and physically. Don't say no. Even where you hear no, it's temporary.
The day is recognized world over to bring governments, women's organizations, corporations, and charities together to explore ways to empower women and make them contribute to societal growth.
On the way through the Women's Day celebration, the Independent National Electoral Commission and security agencies in the country have said they are ready to conduct the election. In Kwara State, the Resident Electoral Commissioner Garba Madami and the Kwara State Commissioner of Police Kayode Egbetukun in a separate press conference showed of a hitch-free exercise.
It is less than 24 hours to the governorship and House of Assembly elections across the country. Electoral stakeholders in all the states of the Federation are rounding off activities to ensure a hitch-free exercise Saturday morning. Addressing journalists on the level of preparedness of the electoral umpire in Kwara State, the INEC commissioner in the state, Garba Madami, said all was set for the exercise. He assured that the commission had put in place all plans to ensure early deployment of electoral materials so as to avoid late arrival of INEC personnel to the polling units.
By 5 a.m. on Saturday, pews will start moving to the various pews so that we don't have late arrival of our personnel at the pew. This time around, I have directed that they must be there by 7:30, 30 minutes before 8 o'clock. Not the other way around, where you go, you see voters waiting for our INEC ad hoc staff.
Madami also assured that INEC personnel in the state were all ready for the exercise. On his part, the Commissioner of Police Kwara State Command, Kayode Egbetukun, gave assurance of the security of lives and property during and after the exercise.
We have done all that we need to do to ensure that this election is conducted hitch-free. All all the security personnel that are deployed for this election from all the services have been trained in election security, and they are ready to engage any hoodlum who may want to disrupt the process.
The police boss warned that no electoral offender in the state will be allowed to go scot-free.
And still on election matters, the Prelate Methodist Church Nigeria, Samuel Uche Kanu, wants the political class to still act inimical to the socio-economic development of the nation, even as the country sets to conduct the governorship and state assembly elections in a few hours' time. The clergyman, during an interactive session with media men in Lagos, called for caution on all the stakeholders involved in order to ensure the conduct of a credible poll.
The Prelate Methodist Church Nigeria, Samuel Kanu Uche, in his text titled "In the Interest of Peace, Stability and Prosperity of Our Great Nation Nigeria and Our Citizenry," explained the reason for the intervention of the Methodist Church.
It's a big church with members from all the tribes and ethnic nationalities that make up Nigeria. It also has members that belong to all the 91 political parties in Nigeria. Therefore, it is apolitical. It is not against any party, but is for all parties.
Now that the presidential and national assembly polls are over, and attention now shifted to the forthcoming governorship and state house of assembly election, the prelate wants the winners to be magnanimous in victory, while the losers to accept defeat in the interest of peace, unity, and for a greater Nigeria.
The winner of the current election has promised to run an all-inclusive government, which I understand to mean that even members of the opposition may be considered in forming the cabinet of the coming tenure. However, if any feels cheated, he or she can choose lawful means of realizing his or her stolen mandate without calling for war.
Kalu Uche urged the federal government and INEC to work for a credible election as witnessed in other climes.
Let us disallow the intimidation of opposition parties or the harassment of opponents or the sponsoring of talks to intimidate opponents on the Saturday 9th March 2019. Furthermore, let the military, if need be, not be involved in the polling stations, polling booths, and collection centers.
He wants the security operatives, including the military, to ensure that the security lapses recorded during the last general elections are avoided to the PRS minimum.
Political attack resurfaced in Ibukun, the headquarters of Obokun local government area of Osun State, when supporters of the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party clashed. Obokun local government area is one of the flashpoints in Ijesha land in Osun State. At the press conference in Oshogbo, members of the APC alleged members of the PDP of attacking the supporters in office of their candidates vying for a seat in the House of Assembly, Bosun Oyisiloye. The clash reoccurred when members of the PDP appeared at the premises of the press conference in Oshogbo shortly after the APC candidates addressed the press on the alleged attack. After the tense atmosphere was doused, the PDP refuted the claim of the APC. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer who spoke off camera said the allegation is being investigated, warning that no act of violence will be tolerated in the states.
I'm about returning home, like 10 o'clock. I just heard a sound of gun. When I move out, I saw a lot of hoodlums. Talks were brought to my office, and which was led by PDP candidate Akiti Adewumi Adeyemi. I cited him with those talks that he brought to my office. They begin to shoot sporadically, and some of my people were injured in my own office.
My party people are coming from Ikinwa yesterday. When they got to the Bosun's area office, I think those people came out of their office, was beating them with brooms and stoning them, so they left.
And that's our package from Lagos Studios. Back to Ayo in Ibadan. Thanks for watching. Good evening.